Julian and I were working on an adaptation of his novel Snobs, and while working on that, I said to him that really the thing we should really work on is an episodic series set in an Edwardian country house. And I really couldn't think of anyone in the world better to do it.
The way of life of these servanted houses, these fully staffed houses, interests me. It always has. It interests me long before I wrote Gosford. And there is something intriguing about this world that was recognisable and identifiable with.
You never asked.
I mean, this is not a long time ago, remember. We start the series in 1912. My father was born in 1912. Not my great-grandfather or my great-great-grandfather, but my father. It's not a long time ago.
We come to a stately home in this story at a critical point because the First World War changed everything to do with the way British society worked, and particularly how the aristocracy lived and were able to continue to live as a result of that war. But in the build-up to it, we are seeing Downton at its most potent.
We didn't want one more Jane Austen-y kind of house with columns and lovely white Regency front and people coming down the steps to get in the carriage. This is much more of a trumpet blast, and it tells us much more about the confidence of the late Victorians and the confidence of high empire. And it doesn't look like all those houses. You don't think you're watching another Jane Austen.
But it was a very interesting period because it's a sort of, not a non-period, but it was coming out of one and it hadn't really established itself as anything else. And then the war hits. So it was a lovely fluid sort of period, very nice and soft and rather gorgeous for the girls. So I researched that small period. And then you bring in the personalities of all the artists involved and all the characters involved. And then you add the period and the characters together.
Well, obviously we do a bit of research. You watch as many sort of period films and shows as you can, and you research it through books and the internet. But then we have a fantastic historian on set. You ask the Oracle, a.k.a. Alistair Bruce, and he comes up with the answers invariably.
Working with the actors and actresses about this time, I tried to persuade them to set aside their view of this period, which they might have today, but also to try and understand that the family did not regard the staff as alien, and vice versa the other way around. So that link that happens between human beings was there. Despite the divide of lifestyle, there was a great bond within the house.
I think why people enjoy these shows is they can enjoy the security, but they don't have to live it. They don't have to get into a black uniform at 5 in the morning and get up and start laying fires. So they can enjoy it vicariously, but, still live in the modern world.